It's worse when we're talking about or hearing speculation about you fighting somebody that literally fights 3 weight divisions lower than you.
Very excited. You know, this is the biggest fight of my career, if it happened, and I'm just looking forward to it. I'm excited.
Crawford?
Yeah.
I think Canelo's just too big for Crawford. I mean, Terence Crawford is another, amazing fighter.
Stephen A. Smith has issued a strong warning to Terence Crawford during a live interview, voicing his disapproval of Crawford's planned fight against Canelo Alvarez. Smith made it clear that he hates this fight and firmly believes it's a terrible idea. According to him, Crawford is stepping up from 3 weight classes below Canelo and is simply too small to compete at that level. Smith urged Crawford to reconsider, warning that the size and power difference could pose real danger to him in the ring.
Reaction to the idea of Crawford versus Canelo?
I hate it. I don't like it one bit. I think that Crawford is the best pound-for-pound fighter on the planet. I think that Canelo is one of those folks. But Canelo is fighting at 168, which means he's walking around heavier.
Former world champion Amir Khan, who faced Canelo in 2016, also sent a blunt warning to Crawford. Khan admitted that he underestimated the importance of the weight difference when he fought Canelo and now understands just how much of a beast Canelo is in the ring. Khan's experience made him realize why weight classes exist and why they shouldn't be ignored.
Canelo's a beast, man. Canelo's a beast, and when it was offered to me, I tried to chase the Mayweather fight at that time, and it happened. And obviously, I was probably at my peak of my career then as well. So, whoever I was gonna fight, I was gonna give him a hard fight regardless. Because we were probably winning that fight against Canelo until he knocked me out. But yeah, I was boxing well, but one thing, sizes. Now I understand why they make weight divisions in boxing. Every weight division. But then again, look, bro, you would probably take it. I was offered like 10 million quid, bro. 10 million quid, bro. Look, end of the day, this is like, it's a lot of money, I thought about it. What made me, when I got the deal on the table for 10 mil, I was like, should I take it or not? But then I worked it out. Normally I have to have 3 or 4 hard training camps and fights to make that kind of money. I still one fight. So you gotta do it in that one fight, you know what I mean?
Does Canelo beat Crawford?
Size, bro, remember, Crawford then is a big boy as well. Crawford's a big guy when it comes to weight. A box fight, yeah. I think Crawford, in my opinion, but size might matter. But then again, I think since when I fought Canelo's become a better boxer. He started boxing more better.
Boxing legend Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. didn't hesitate to share his opinion. Chavez warned that Crawford should not face Canelo at 168 pounds, predicting bluntly that Crawford would get knocked out. While Chavez respects Crawford's incredible talent, he believes that at super middleweight, Canelo's power and strength are simply overwhelming. Coming from someone who has witnessed decades of boxing history, Chavez's warning carries significant weight.
The two fighters are going to be different weight classes, even though they're going to fight on a specific weight. He believes that they're just going because of the money, Crawford, but probably Canelo is going to knock him out.
Despite all the warnings, Crawford remains confident. He has publicly stated that he has fought opponents even bigger than Canelo in the past and believes his superior skills will be enough to win. According to Crawford, Canelo's biggest advantage is his size, not his technique. This self-confidence is part of what makes Crawford so admired by fans. He never shies away from a challenge and always believes he can find a way to win. However, as many experts point out, fighting Canelo at 168 pounds might be an entirely different challenge.
I feel I got the speed over Canelo. I got the reach over him. He might got the size, the power. I got the better skills, boxing skills.
Would it be more of a cat and mouse? The reality is Canelo does put people out. From Kirkland to Amir Khan to just...
Don't diss.
Obviously, he's talking about Amir Khan.
I'm just saying, man.
No, but he's not.
Kovalev.
Kovalev
We have to
was
respect
older.
the power of Canelo.
And he does.
Billy
he
Joe.
does. Don't get me wrong. He does have a lot of power. But all those guys that you name is not as skillful as me. I'm sorry. No disrespect to none of those fighters. The skill level is night and day.
So how do you see a fight with Canelo go?
It's a tough fight. Canelo is a great fighter. Like, I always had respect for Canelo, but I just believe in my skills. The fact that people doubt me, it just fueled me even more. Try to get the fight even more. And I'm watching them, I'm like, man, I can beat this dude. I've been fighting people bigger than me all my life, and I always came out on top. You gonna get hit. It's a fight. He gonna get hit too. It'll be good.
Speaking live, Stephen A. Smith doubled down on his concerns, saying that Crawford is just too small for this fight. He emphasized that Crawford would need to jump 3 weight classes, something history shows rarely works out for the smaller fighter. Even with Crawford's skill set, the size gap could be dangerous, Smith said bluntly, adding that even if Crawford lands clean shots, they might not be powerful enough to hurt Canelo or slow him down.
Let me tell you what I think should be gone. The notion that Terence Bud Crawford should move up 3 weight classes and 21 pounds to fight Canelo Alvarez. He's entirely too small. Jamel Charlo already proved that. Y'all remember that scene from Rocky? Remember that scene from Rocky 2? When Carl Weathers was Apollo Creed and his trainer was like, can I be honest? I saw you beat this man within an inch of his life. And he kept coming. He wouldn't go away. He's wrong for us, baby. He's wrong. Let it go. Apollo couldn't do it. And lost fight number 2. Trained him for Rocky 3 and then got killed in Rocky 4 by Drago because he couldn't let it go. Bud Crawford needs to let it go. Too small.
Renowned coach Joel Diaz didn't hold back either, calling the idea of Crawford beating Canelo stupid. Diaz focused on the size difference, pointing out that Canelo has faced and defeated elite-level super middleweights and even light heavyweights. From a trainer's point of view, Diaz sees the matchup as a clear mismatch that is unlikely to end well for Crawford.
A lot of people that say that Crawford can beat Canelo, no problem. I mean, I respect that, but I just think they're stupid. I mean, excuse my language. Mm-hmm. The size difference of a bigger man changes everything with one punch. No. And I can see the same thing. I mean, you saw Canelo Alvarez fighting Amir Khan. Now, look at this. Terence Crawford moved from 47 to 54 to fight Madrimov. What did he do to Madrimov? Nothing. A lot. Mm-hmm. Okay, Madrimov was a 54-pounder. Now, to move up to 168, that's 2 more divisions. Mm-hmm. Canelo Alvarez will take any punch from Crawford, but I don't think Crawford will take any punches from Canelo. Yeah. Remember, Canelo got hit by Triple G, right, the heaviest hitter in that division. And Canelo took those shots like a champ. I don't think Crawford has anything to beat Canelo.
Sean Garcia echoed similar thoughts, noting that while Crawford is a phenomenal boxer, Canelo's experience and physical size create a nearly unbeatable challenge. No matter how good Crawford is, Canelo is just too big, Garcia explained. Stephen A. Smith, while recognizing Crawford's elite skills and historic dominance at welterweight, raised an important question. Can Crawford even hurt Canelo? Smith suggested that even if Crawford performs beautifully from a technical standpoint, it won't matter if he lacks the punching power to make Canelo respect him. Otherwise, Crawford might walk straight into a punishing battle.
You know what? I think my initial reaction would be to say that I think that Crawford would be the superior boxer, as great as Canelo is, as seasoned as he is, with 65 fights, if I recall, on his record. Mm-hmm. I think boxing-wise, he's going to give Canelo fits. I don't believe he can hurt Canelo. I just believe that Crawford hasn't been in the ring with anybody this powerful. Again, Crawford is the superior boxer. But if he can't hurt Canelo, you can't keep him off of him. He says it's a legacy fight. He believes he can do the same, and he wants to do the same against a fighter the caliber of Canelo Alvarez, which is why we haven't really seen him in the ring against anybody else. Unfortunately, that's the business of boxing. He's a victim of it, not a victim.
Promoter Eddie Hearn described the matchup as a freak fight. While he has great respect for both fighters, he warned that the size difference makes the contest feel more like a spectacle than a fair sporting contest. Hearn believes that Even if Crawford puts on an impressive performance, the public might not fully appreciate it because of the obvious size mismatch. Likewise, if Canelo wins, people may dismiss it as a fight he was always expected to win anyway.
How is Crawford going to be able to bridge this weight gap?
Yeah, I don't think he can, in all honesty. I mean, he might not be able to bridge it on Saturday.
Yeah.
So
one weight class.
68, yeah, but you're coming up from 35. 35, 40, 47, 54. Sooner or later, it's one too many. And 68 is definitely too many. But Crawford's brilliant. Like, he's a genius. He's a generational great. So maybe he can find a way to do it. But I feel he'd be hugely outsized against Canelo Alvarez. Yeah. But you have to use your movement if you're Terence Crawford in that fight. The last thing you want to do is stand and trade. He'd be moving a lot in that fight, trust me. I'm not saying he'd be running, but he would be moving a lot. Of course, that's the way to beat him.
Yeah.
You know.
Trainer Robert Garcia took a different approach, saying that many boxing fans simply don't want to see this fight happen. According to Garcia, the boxing world would rather watch Crawford face someone closer to his natural weight, maybe a top contender at 154 or 160 pounds. Garcia feels this matchup feels unnatural and lacks the organic competitiveness that usually makes great fights stand out and become memorable.
I want to see Crawford versus Canelo. I think people are going to go, that's too much. Moving up 2 more weight divisions, 2 more. Thank you, my man. Thank you. I don't think it's going to be. I don't think that'll bring that much attention anymore, because I think if you were going out there and destroy this guy, then okay, he can move up and fight against Canelo. But I think it'll be hard for people to buy that. You know, that he could fight somebody like Canelo, because Canelo's just too big. That's 2 weight divisions.
Boxing analyst Showbiz the Adult offered a chilling perspective. Having heard the sound and sheer power behind Canelo's punches up close, he just doesn't believe Crawford could endure that level of force. Even with Crawford's remarkable skill and toughness, Showbiz pointed out that the punch resistance required at 168 pounds is worlds apart from what's needed at 147. One clean punch from Canelo, he warned, could change the fight in an instant.
Spaceman Films. What up, Biz? Who you got? Canelo Crawford.
Yeah, got Canelo. Yeah. I heard the punches that he hit Charlo with. I don't know if Crawford can absorb those punches. I know he's a great man and a great warrior. But you come from 147 to put on a better fight than Charlo. I mean, I don't even know what that means. I don't know if that means that Crawford is so great and he can do that, or that means that Charlo set the bar so damn low that anybody can do better than Charlo did last night.
Do skill really pay the bill? Because that would be tested.
Pay the bill. That's why Canelo's good for too.
Check out the projected odds that came out. One of the odds projectors say Canelo is opening up as the favorite, -130. Crawford is +100. That's damn near 50-50. Another one says Canelo Alvarez is the favorite, -185. Crawford is the underdog, only +55. Let me tell you something. If those are the odds on my bookie come day one, I'm max betting Canelo Alvarez. I could give a damn. If y'all mean to tell me that y'all think it's 50-50, I'ma empty my account on Canelo Alvarez. I don't have to bet KO, none of that shit. If y'all think it's that close, I'ma empty my account. $30,000, I can give a shit. I'm about to come up. I was gonna bet on Crawford thinking he'd be the huge underdog. Y'all got it that narrow?
In a back-and-forth discussion with veteran boxing journalist Dan Raphael, Stephen A. Smith repeated his doubts about Crawford's chances of winning. Raphael, however, countered by saying that Crawford wouldn't take this fight just for a payday. He'd be stepping in to win. Still, even Raphael agreed that the challenge Crawford faces is massive and that he would need to fight an absolutely perfect match to even have a chance.
I think Terence Crawford is a marvelous boxer, arguably the best in the world, pound for pound. But can you hurt Canelo? If you can't hurt him, I have no doubt he could outbox him. My issue is, if you can't hurt him, what kind of a challenge can you truly pose? What do you say to that?
No, that's a great point. I mean, here's the thing. Canelo Alvarez has a historically great chin. Now, I go way back when he first came to the United States and started boxing, and he found himself on an HBO pay-per-view undercard years and years ago, fighting against the older brother of the great Miguel Cotto. His name was Jose Miguel Cotto, and he had gotten a ton of hype. He had signed with Golden Boy Promotions, and a lot of those of us in the media, and I had seen him a couple of times before that. This is my first time seeing him in person, really paying close attention, and he almost got knocked out in the first round. And I remember, Stephen A., all of us looking around at Media Row going, what the heck is this all hype about? This man can't take a shot. He's going to get drilled. He was lucky that the fight was over, that the round was over in round one, or there might have been some much more trouble. Stephen A., that was 16, 17 years ago. I've never seen him wobbled, rocked, physically, visibly hurt since then. He has an all-time great chin going in the ring with tremendous punchers. Terence Crawford coming up 2 weight classes, do any damage? Yeah, he's a slick boxer, and he's also a good puncher in the welterweight division, in the junior welterweight division, in the lightweight division. But even at junior middleweight, which is where Terence Crawford had his most recent fight back in August, when he moved up and he won a world title, he didn't blow the doors off. He fought a very tough, solid opponent named Israel Madrimov. He gave him a good fight. It was very close. Madrimov's people seem to think he might have even been able to edge it out. But if you can't hurt an Israel Madrimov at 154, what the heck are you going to do with Canelo Alvarez, the sturdiest guy in the world, at 168? So that aspect of it is certainly a problem. You mentioned about Charlo. Charlo was there to get his check. I know one thing about Terence Crawford. He's not going to just come to turn up to get the check. He'll at least try. And Charlo, I don't think, really tried.
Former super middleweight champion Carl Froch also criticized the matchup, saying it wouldn't turn out to be a good fight. Froch believes the difference in size and strength is simply too large and that Crawford won't be able to compete effectively against someone with Canelo's physical advantages. Froch warned that fans expecting an epic showdown might end up feeling disappointed.
Las Vegas, now that is a fight that I'm expecting to be very good. I think it's going to be tough for Crawford. He's not big enough, I don't think. He's just not got that size. Don't get me wrong, he'll stack some pounds on and he'll grow. He's obviously bigger than his fight weight, but Canelo Alvarez has been up at light heavyweight. I know he's been up at, light heavyweight. He beat Kovalev. And then he's dropped back down now to super middle because he's probably not big enough for light heavyweight, lost to Bivol, and he's probably realised, actually, that's probably a step too far. But Terence Crawford, what is he, 147 pound, one of the best to do it in the business. But to come up, we know what it's like when people come up from welterweight and try and succeed a couple of weight divisions above their weight. It's tough, it's difficult.
Despite all the warnings and criticism, Terence Crawford remains determined to go forward with the fight. Many fans are backing him, drawn by the excitement of seeing greatness tested. Crawford has always been a fighter willing to take risks, and for him, this fight could be a legacy-defining moment. If he somehow manages to pull off what seems impossible, it's a high-risk, high-reward gamble that has captured the attention of boxing fans worldwide.
I just feel if Terence Crawford's going to have a fight again, and I look at the options on the table, there's no one he wants to fight 154 pounds. There isn't. He doesn't want to fight Fundora. He's not going to fight Virgil Ortiz. He's not going to fight Boychuk. These aren't sexy names. These are just not names that even gets out for a jog for. The only name he wants to fight is Canelo. So for me, I feel like I'm more closer to Crawford fighting than Crawford not fighting. And if Crawford's going to fight, then it has to be Canelo. But look, we'll see. That's a dream one for me. I think I said that on my wish list for 2025. I said Crawford, Canelo. I think all the others will come true. I just want this one to come true. It's a crazy fight. There's almost too much weight between the two, but I agree. Hey, this is boxing.
Heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua offered a more optimistic take. While acknowledging the obvious size difference, Joshua emphasized that what really matters is who wants it more. In Joshua's view, if Crawford is motivated, fully focused, and prepares properly, he could still shock people. Crawford has a point to prove, and that kind of motivation, Joshua believes, could push him to perform beyond expectations.
Canelo. Yeah, I wasn't too keen on the catchweight stuff. I feel like there's no rehydration clause, is there? No, so that would be good. And then I feel like Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr. showed us that weight is good. Like, there are weight categories for a reason, but providing they're both skilled and talented, there's not much difference in weight. It's just who wants to win. And watching that fight, Conor Benn and Chris Eubank just showcased that weight is all about that. So I'm looking forward to the Crawford and Canelo fight because I feel like Bud wants to prove a point. Do you know what I mean? So it'll be a good fight. Bud he was just over there a second ago to me. Calling him Bud like I know him. But Terence Crawford was just over there to me.
Boxing legend Oscar De La Hoya delivered one of the sport's oldest truths. A good small man doesn't beat a good big man. De La Hoya respects Crawford's exceptional talent, but thinks the odds are stacked heavily against him. In boxing, size, power, and durability usually decide the outcome, and Canelo has all three in abundance.
Be part of it. William who? Canelo versus William Skull. William who?
Oscar being back in New York over here.
No, let's just say Canelo Crawford.
in the history of boxing, and this is the facts.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
If you see Thursdays, back Thursdays, I speak the facts. All right, I'll even do it for you. A good little man has never beaten a good big man in the history of the game, unless you go back to certain situations with Pacquiao beat me, but I was a dead man walking anyway. But a good little man never beats a good big man, so it's a tough test for Crawford, but I'm not counting him out.
What about Canelo?
Teofimo Lopez, known for his sharp boxing insights, praised Canelo's ring intelligence and physical gifts. While Lopez believes Crawford is an elite fighter, he pointed out that facing someone with Canelo's mix of IQ, experience, and power will be incredibly tough, especially at a weight class where Crawford has never fought before.
Crawford, Canelo, who you got?
Crawford, Canelo? I still say Canelo.
I got Canelo too.
I still say Canelo. Ring IQ, I believe that Crawford has a bit more.
Yep.
However, it's just the size difference. I think that where Crawford is lacking is that he should test the waters even with somebody at that weight class before facing Canelo. But hey, they say he's a dog. He's got shot in the head and drove to the hospital, so maybe that's just his mentality.
Hey, let's see. Only one way to find out until that day comes.
It's the only way, but I definitely think that it's a great fight overall. You know, black and brown is how you get down.
Canelo Alvarez's record and resume are unmatched. He has fought and beaten world champions across multiple weight divisions and recently claimed another world title by defeating William Skull. Whether or not that specific detail is fully confirmed, one fact remains clear. Canelo has proven himself time and again. He's a dominant force at 168 pounds, and stepping into the ring with him is a massive challenge for anyone, especially for a welterweight moving up in weight.
Bud versus Canelo, based on last fight, is a 50-50. So Canelo fights an undisputed champ, up-and-coming former champion, and an up-and-coming undefeated contender. And somehow those three last opponents are somehow compared to Bud's Madrimov fight, making it a 50-50 fight? Wow.